It's a 3D death track and a death trap. A 3D death track, that's where death's at. And a cast filled with some stupid fucks getting killed by trucks and other vehicles. This is Death's plan and its design, and it's gonna kill everyone in time. Whew! Fucking hell, this movie. I'm John Renton with the retro review of The Final Destination. It was not The Final Destination. You fucking lied to me, movie. Boy, you fucking lied. And you lied about this movie being any goddamn good. It was, however, in 3D! It's the best 3D effects I can afford, and still better than anything you'll see in this fucking goddamn slop fest. Let me know your thoughts on this film in the comments, please. Have I tipped my hand that I didn't really enjoy this movie all that much? This really was truly the low point of the series. I mean, this was bottom of the barrel bullshit. Not that the first Final Destination was really all that great in retrospect. The second one had the iconic freeway scene and had a couple other good deaths. The third one, that I did just retro review, had the tanning bed scene and also the weight room scene. Not in the Benoit household, but a better one, because only one guy died. Nevertheless, enough Benoit jokes. This movie was shit, and some of the worst 3D effects seen in quite a while. There were 3D movies done all the way back in like the 70s and 80s. I mean, I think you had one of the Jason movies, the early Jason movies within 3D, and that was better than this. And that came out in the early 80s. It was a gimmick on top of a gimmick, because by this point, this was just straight up death/torture porn. It was directed by David R. Ellis. Rest in peace, David R. Ellis. He did Final Destination 2, so he's responsible for the iconic freeway scene. And he also did Cellular, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, and Snakes on a Plane. It's also written by Eric Bress, who did Final Destination 2 and The Butterfly Effect. I don't know if he did the Butterfly Effect sequels. I didn't dive that far into his IMDb, but this movie had a cast of, well, there were a couple of pretty girls in it, and it had people that were young, pretty people that just were trying to escape Death's design. Really convoluted, stupid ways. It's a low point because, realistically, any of the death scenes are just fucking hilarious, but more like, haha, okay, yeah, we didn't fucking see that coming. The 3D gimmick is worked to death. This is the shortest movie in the goddamn franchise. It's like 10 minutes shorter than the previous two entries. It barely clocks in at 80 minutes until you get to the end of the end credits. 82 minutes with about 6 to 7 minutes of end credits. Barely goddamn qualifies for a theatrical release. But, yeah, Bobby Campo. You have Chantel Van Santen. It sounds like a name way too snooty to me in a movie like this. I will say that Chantel's quite lovely. We'll say that, whether she has blonde hair or red hair. And there's Nick Zamo, that just sounds like a late 80s, early 90s enhancement talent in WWE. Also Haley Webb, who plays Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're Websty. And Tony Todd wasn't in this because there were scheduling conflicts. So yeah, no Tony Todd. Terrible opening death sequence. 3D effects up the goddamn wazoo and up the ass and in every goddamn orifice and out of every orifice and pouring out of other orifices we haven't even discovered yet. So yeah, the first one had the plane. The second one had the freeway scene. The third one didn't have the best opening scene with the roller coaster, but since I'm scared of heights, it sort of did trigger that. This one took place at a racetrack. And no establishing at all. We established these few are friends. They're also dating. One guy's dating one girl. The other guy's dating another girl. And that's about it. And from there, Nick has some visions. And then, shit happens. People die in silly ways. In fact, I'm going to go over some of the deaths here. It was funny that one woman ended up stuffing tampons in her kids' ears instead of having, earplugs. Man, I mean, when you just want your hearing to feel fresh. Nevertheless, the 3D was so fucking stupid. So fucking goddamn bullshit. He even said, oh, there's going to be a wreck. There's going to be a wreck. And then one woman got pinned down by an engine. Another woman was really tired after getting hit by a tire. Sorry, I had to explain that joke there. And the building was collapsing. An explosion because the car flew everywhere. Apparently the car just defied the laws of physics. And all because a goddamn screwdriver got in the way. Not the screwdriver! 3D! Anyway, since Nick saw this stuff, and there's also a comically racist character that got upset at George. McKelty Williamson, I'm pretty certain I got within the ballpark of saying that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But he was a guard. He stopped the guy from going in there, not because he didn't want to save his wife, but because the building was collapsing. So he blamed the guy. That comes into play a little bit later. They were in a death by caffeine stable after all this. Subtle. Like a goddamn elephant on stilts. By the way, we got credits about almost 10 minutes into the movie. Of an 82-minute movie. And all in 3D with the deaths, the Final Destination deaths, and Final Destination 2 and 3. All these random deaths and everything with skeletons and everything, and they're twisting the stuff around and... Can you tell I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with this review? Because this movie almost broke me. Rewatching this almost broke me. And yes, I did retro review and put compilations of the Final Destination movies, Urban Legend, and the, I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. They did 3 of the last 2, believe it or not. They did 5 of these. They're doing a 6th one coming up soon. I don't fucking know why, but I took all those movies, Human Centipede them together in various compilations, and decided to flesh this shit out because I really wanted to rant about this. They go to the memorial. One woman who got pinned down by an engine but got saved after Nick saved everybody. It's like, hey, thanks, you're a hero, because we need a hero. We need a hero at the end of the night because we had to be strong, you had to be stupid, and you had to see the light. We need a hero. So then the racist guy has a tow truck and decides he's going to go burn a cross on George's lawn. But Why Can't We Be Friends starts playing. His truck gets possessed. The ball and chain hook comes off and drags him from behind while fuel pours out, and he gets he gets lit on fire as the fire just goes down the chain and catches him. Oh my God, I'm on fire! Fuck. God damn it, this movie. So yeah, that happened, which was just fucking hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious, but not even like, oh God, this guy's a racist, I want to see him die. Like, oh, he's just, okay. Alright, he's just gonna die all of a sudden. No build, no nothing. Nick's visions, by the way, come in horrible 3D with various hints. Oh, there's scissors. Oh, there's a rock. Oh, there's a cigarette. Oh, there's a pipe. Oh, there's a blowtorch. Oh, there's a canister bursting. Oh, there's a theater that's going to explode. Oh, we're going to see this shit over and over. They managed to pad this movie. They padded an 82-minute movie that by no means had any right to exist. And the girl, or the woman that had the kids, that she stuffed the tampons in her ears to stop the noise. Her name was Samantha, but she also was listed as MILF in the cast. Subtle. Granted, she was almost 40 here, and she looked really hot. So I mean, and even seeing recent pictures of her, she's aged very well. But Krista Allen, not to be confused with Kirstie Alley, because nobody wants to fucking deal with her anymore. So she's getting her hair done. There is a beautiful, beautiful goth girl doing the hair coloring here. My goodness, fucking gorgeous. Reminded me of a girl I worked with. She reminded me of someone that I used to know, somebody. And then her kids run in. One of them slips on something that was spilled, and then a fan almost destroys everybody. And then the woman's like, I've got my eye on you. And then she gets a rock through the head. She kind of deserved that because she paid with a check. Who paid with a check in 2009? I just want to talk to you. 2009 was not that long ago. Actually, technically it was 13 years ago. Fuck. I was 28 when this movie came out. Help me, Spock, help me. So anyway, Lori and Nick keep trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. There's this guy, Hunt, who is a real, well, he's something that rhymes with Hunt, and he's not very good to Janet. And he basically says that he's going to end up living life to the fullest and probably getting laid. Because Hunt is a hunt. And, oh, the research scene, this has all happened before. It's happening again. Hey, it's crantastic. Longtime Simpsons fans will just be dying laughing there. And then they have to convince George to help them. So they go search for this one mechanic guy that hadn't died, but then he dies by getting his body pushed through a fence by a propane tank and propane accessories. It's fucking hilarious. And then, this is right before George actually explained that he drove drunk and killed his wife and kid. Somehow, is not still in jail for taking 2 lives. But, who knows? Who knows? Let's not bother with semantics or any kind of storyline detail. And then we get 2 separate visions of water and a coin and everything. And Hunt is a dick by a pool after dipping his dick in a blonde's pool. Beautiful blonde, by the way, gotta say that much. She was really hot. And he just treated her like a piece of meat. Can I have next? No, I'm kidding. She left. He's checking out other women. And he has a lucky coin that he's flipping around. Well, then he accidentally ends up taking this kid. Well, he pops his kid's raft on purpose. Takes his squirt gun that he had squirted him with. And then puts the gun right there on the mechanical stuff. But then that falls and puts the pool to drain. So now it's going to drain gradually. Nobody notices this because this goes on for minutes. None of that water was draining very fast. I mean, I know it's a big pool, but you would think they would start to notice it's draining, especially if anybody's swimming near the part where the giant drain is. Hunt eventually notices because he ends up losing his coin, tries to get there, swims down, and gets stuck in the suction. And is somehow down there for minutes on end without dying until the pressure just takes him. I mean, to be fair, he was the one that deserved to die the most. Janet, by the way, then gets a bunch of bird shit on her car, can't figure out how her sunroof works, and then gets trapped in a car wash and nearly drowns in hilarious fashion. And then George has to take his SUV that looks like it was the first SUV ever invented and runs it into the Scion that Janet had, dreaming of Scion awake, can't stop sleeping awake. But anyway, because car washes are really, really getting detailed. I mean, they are just washing you inside and out. She nearly dies. And then would have gotten hit by a pipe. So she would have taken a thick piping, not like a woman that I knew in college. In fact, she took a piping pretty much from everybody, including the football team. But I'm not going to talk about that. Let's go back to George being at peace with his impending doom. And then we find out that George was trying to off himself. But that didn't work. Because it wasn't his time. They had a visual of a black guy with a noose around his neck after he tried to hang himself. In 2009. Maybe not. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. I mean, I'm not saying there was any intention, like, to be like, you know, racially insensitive, but really? Anyway, whatever. We've been given a second chance. Let's drink some apple cider. Hey, let's take a trip. Okay, but first, my girlfriend and I are going to go watch a movie. Okay, says Nick. We have 25 minutes left in the movie, so obviously it's not done. And the third act involves everybody going to a movie while the theaters is under construction. There's enough chemicals in canisters to start 5 zombie apocalypses or start 15 Dante's Infernos or a towering inferno, as it were. And man, I love theaters that are just a giant circle and impossible to figure out. I mean, I worked at a theater. And if I worked at a theater like that and was trying to point in about 18 different directions like I was Vishnu times 2, it would have been really, really trying. Now, what ends up happening is it turns out there was one other guy that actually didn't die. He got put in the hospital, and he was a cowboy, and on a steel horse he rode because his horse wasn't made of steel. Okay, you know what? Just fuck it. Picture the song and make up your own lyrics. Then he's in the hospital. There's this very, very racially insensitive old man that tells an Asian, caregiver, I killed your kind in Korea. I'm Chinese, sir. Same difference. Well, fuck you too, old man. They forgot to turn the giant tub off they were going to soak him in. And then it leaks. The tub flattens the cowboy that was trying to crawl away. He didn't get electrocuted, but he got killed by a giant tub that was going to sue the racist. Whatever. Then, we're at the theater, and Nick has a vision. Nick sees George die in front of him while they're trying to go to the theater, because George is like, you know, it's like this, and boom, and then he gets hit by a drunk ambulance driver. Nick goes to the theater, tries to save Lori, but can't because the escalator collapses. That escalated slowly, and she gets ground up in there. But then, oh no, I can stop the fire from happening. All I have to do is go in a very convoluted way to this construction area that everybody broke for lunch, and now nobody's there. And let me stop this. Oh, wait, this nail gun decided to go fucking rogue and gain sentience somehow and pin my arm against the wall. No! Now I know how Jesus felt, except they didn't have nail guns back then. No! And then he's trying to reach for a stick because the fire is going on. He reaches for a stick and he's like, I'm going to point the sticky at the sprinkler, and there it is. And then it stops. It stops the explosion from happening right before the explosion happens in the movie. Everybody's safe. Until they fucking realize that they are in a cafe and that they end up being in the exact same place they were supposed to be, and then we get 3D deaths. We get 3D fucking deaths and everybody gets crushed, and this all happened within 75 fucking minutes? This movie is ass. It's goddamn ass. The Final Destination was fucking ass. 3D! Fuck! Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.